right, welcome to One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and today is the last Monday night of 2024. I cannot believe how fast this year has gone by. What a year! What a year! There's been a lot of different things happening this past year, just like there is every single year. Uh, the neat thing is that the end of 2024 also marks the end of a decade. Our first decade with Sports Locker Magazine, 10 years. It's hard to believe. We started out with 8 schools, and now we're representing 17 high schools right here in mid Missouri, and just love being able to cover the student athletes, coaches, schools, our advertisers, the people that support the magazine, all of you that are out there just being a support of this program. But thanks for all the things that you guys do. I just wanted to briefly go over some of the things that happened this past year, and I'm not going to take much of your time tonight. I know people are still um, watching football games, doing all the different things that have been taking place going into the new year. Tomorrow is going to be a huge day. I just wanted to take a few moments to get on here and again just say, wow, what a year! What a year! What a decade! So this past year, as you guys, many of you know, it was a difficult year for my wife and I. We lost her father back in the end of May, and my father-in-law Ted Ballinger was a very, very good man, and he lost the battle with cancer. And so this holiday season has been a lot of tears, a lot of memories, different things that we have just looked back on and just missed having him here. So we appreciate all the support of everybody and the condolences that you have thrown out there during that time. So sports right here in mid Missouri. I know they just got done with the basketball tournaments right here in Jefferson City. There's a lot of bowl games that are taking place right now. Chiefs are going full throttle. Just got done with getting the number one seed for the AFC going into the playoffs. Just lots of things happening. You could go on and on and on, but we're not going to do that tonight. We're just going to look at what happened in this decade, the first decade of Sports Locker Magazine. The first decade, we had a lot of stuff going on. We started in 2015 again with 8 schools, 8 high schools, and just began covering student athletes, one per school per issue, and we've continued to do that all the way through. We've had some others. We had some schools that we represented early on that were no longer really able to do that, and the biggest one that I say really got hit hard was the Missouri School for the Deaf. We loved having them being a part of the magazine, and when COVID happened, it kind of shut down their ability for us to be able to come in and cover. But just very, very supportive and proud of the efforts of those student athletes and those kids at Missouri School for the Deaf. Speaking of the COVID, when that happened, I mean, before that, in 2019, we had the tornado hit Jefferson City and Eldon area, and lots of businesses, schools, everything was affected for a period of time, and it went on, and it went on for a while for the recovery. But you know what I loved? I loved seeing the student athletes and coaches and schools getting out there and pouring into the community. I remember kids being out there doing cleanup and just helping pass out water and just trying to give public aid to their community. That was a very, very powerful time, and just seeing everybody come together, it was quite amazing. Also, we had a year later, COVID hit, and one thing that we saw with that was just a lot of fear. It was a fear of the unknown. What's happening? People are dying. What's taking place? And a lot of misinformation, a lot of different things going on because nobody knew. Nobody knew. They were trying to figure it out. But my heart went out to the student athletes that were really they had some things stolen from them. They didn't get a chance to have their senior prom. They didn't get a chance to finish out and compete in state events. I mean, what a difficult time for a lot of these young men and women. But they handled it well. Their graduations looked a little bit different. But that was one of the key things that happened in this past decade. Just seeing that taken away from some of those kids. They've gone on to be successful in the next level in their college education and different things that they're doing. But that's just a memory that's going to be maybe a little bit difficult for them to look back on and say, "Wow, I missed out on that." You know, it carried on into the following year. COVID did, and it was just kind of a continual thing. I just don't know how difficult it had to be for all the schools and the athletic departments just trying to navigate everything to get it together in order to be able to get some semblance of normalcy back. And again, I want to just say kudos to the athletic directors. We love and appreciate the athletic directors and all the work that they do with us as far as getting the student athletes that represent us in Sports Locker Magazine, represent their schools. Again, this is marking the end of 10 years, and we're looking forward to the next 10 years. But I wanted to point out, with each issue we cover a student athlete from each of those schools, as well as we have a coach of the issue. And when we get out and we do those photo shoots, we will hit somewhere around 44, 45 photo shoots in a particular session because we're doing 3 at a time. My daughter comes in from Colorado with my son-in-law, grandkids, and then we go out and we do those photo shoots. That's a lot of photo shoots to go out and cover, but we love getting into the schools, interacting with the student athletes, and that's been, I think, the key thing that has marked this magazine is that we go out and we want to make sure that we give the student athletes the experience of Sports Locker Magazine and just paying that special attention to them, the details as far as their photos, just lots of unique poses, unique interviews that we have with the kids, and you get to hear their story. And a lot of them have some stories that are pretty difficult. Some of them have come from some difficult backgrounds. Some of them have come from personal loss. I can remember a young man from New Bloomfield that his father was in the military, and he had lost his father earlier in that year, and then he lost his best friend. But this young man, he worked hard, and he tried his best to have a good attitude. And when we were out there, we just had a lot of fun with him, and he was very appreciative of the time that we spent with him. And that's what we really enjoy about this. We enjoy telling the stories, we enjoy interacting with the student athletes, and then we enjoy being able to present it to you guys. This program is meant to do a little bit extra. So tonight it was difficult. I had multiple people we tried to get to come on, but just due to the holidays, it was just too difficult around schedules, basketball tournaments, things like that. So it just didn't work out. So I just thought I would take only a little bit of time tonight and come on and just say that we appreciate you guys being a part of One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra and Sports Locker Magazine. Before I finish up with the last part here, I want to quickly give a shout out to Big Whiskeys, who does our coach of the issue. And every issue we feature a coach right here in mid-Missouri, and Big Whiskeys is the sponsor for that, as well as they're one of the sponsors for the program on One Nation. Another sponsor, I'm just going to quickly talk about them real quick. CNS Employment Solutions. CNS Employment Solutions has been with Sports Locker Magazine from the beginning. They're a sponsor of this program, and they do a great job as far as helping people find jobs and employers find jobs for people needing them. But they do a lot in the community. You probably have heard about Redemption Inside the Walls. CNS Employment Solutions is one of the title sponsors for Redemption Inside the Walls, and that's bringing Christian entertainment right here into Jefferson City. And be on the lookout in March. There's something that's coming for the kids, so be on the lookout for that. We appreciate everything that they do. All right, for this last little few minutes that we've got here, I want to quickly we're talking about what a year it's been, all the different things that have taken place for us personally with the loss of my wife's dad, but also all the different things that go on from year to year, and then this past decade. But one thing over the past decade that has probably, I'd say, been the most difficult for us, as well as all the families that were involved, has been the loss of some of the student athletes that we covered in the magazine. There's been three such individuals that we had, had articles in the magazine, and all three of these young men lost their lives, and some very, very tragically. And actually, they're all tragic. It was just too soon. But I wanted to just give a special shout out. The first one was Anthony Bertucci of Russellville High School. He was in one of our early editions of Sports Locker magazine, and Anthony was killed in a car wreck. And one of the things that we did during that time, we were going around and we were putting up trees. That was kind of around the tornado time, but we went around and we were planting trees, and there was a tree that we planted out by the football field in Russellville, and that tree is still there and it is still growing, and people are still going out there, putting, memorializing different things for Anthony out there. So it was again a sad loss. Another one was Jackson Carriega from Helias Catholic High School. Outstanding young man, outstanding wrestler, and what a tragic loss it was when Jackson passed. His family, they absolutely loved that young man and everything that he represented, and it was just hard to see. It was difficult. We went out and planted a bush for him at the cemetery, and again, just the heartbreak knowing that his time here on the earth was done, and that his family was going to dearly miss him. So our hearts go out to those two families. And then finally we had this past year Riley Pipes, and he was at Lighthouse Preparatory Academy, and Riley passed in a car accident. He was attending State Technical College at that time, and both of those schools and communities struggled greatly with the passing of Riley, and again, our hearts go out to their families, and just I pray for healing for all of them, that the Holy Spirit would bring comfort and bring healing to them. But there are things like this that tragically happen, and the one thing that I do see is that there is goodness in people, and people reaching out and trying to comfort one another, and it's a very good thing to see that. And so I would just say, finishing out this year and finishing out this first decade, I would just say probably the biggest thing that I would challenge all of us with going into 2025. Everybody likes to do the new diets and exercise programs and all those types of things, but the biggest challenge that I want to throw out to everybody is to be a better human. Let's be a better human. Let's represent the best of humanity, and let's pour into the lives of other people. Let's pour into them through humility, love, and grace and patience. And whenever we can help out in any way, I just challenge you to do that. We just got done with Christmas, and there was a lot of families that were suffering during this holiday season. And, just people need people like you to reach out and to be a better human. They need goodness in their lives. And if we have the opportunity to do that, let's make 2025 the best possible year that we can, and just being better in that area. And you know what? If we're better in that area, we're going to be better in a lot of other areas in our life. So that's all I've got for you tonight. I didn't want to take much of your time. I so much appreciate you guys and being a part of One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I appreciate you for being a part of Sports Locker Magazine and all of your support with that. And you know what? Let's make 2025 a great year, and let's see what we can do as far as making an impact in the lives of other people, our student athletes, our schools, everywhere that we go. Let's make a difference. All right. Until next week, I'm your host, Kirk DeMars. God bless you guys, and we will see you then.